So yesterday we saw about learning objectives or learning outcomes and lesson plan. So we all know the purpose of learning objectives and learning outcomes. So broadly we have the curriculum on top, and based on the curriculum we set our learning objectives and learning outcomes. So based on the learning objectives and learning outcomes, now it is left to us teachers to design the syllabus. So what do you mean when you say syllabus? We often use the word syllabus, curriculum, back to back, isn't it? We always say the syllabus, we use it interchangeably. So what do we mean when we say syllabus and what is meant by curriculum? Because we have to, as teachers, we design the syllabus so that the learning outcomes are achieved. So today the topic is about syllabus of primary mathematics. So before discussing what goes into the syllabus of primary mathematics, let us all see what is the meaning of syllabus. What does it mean? What does the word syllabus mean? What is the differentiation between syllabus and curriculum? Why is designing syllabus very important? What role does syllabus play? And what is the syllabus of primary mathematics from classes 1 to 5? We will be seeing all this in today's session. Please feel free to give your own opinions and views anytime during the discussion.
Yes,
so first we will
said, it is necessary for framing the course of study. Yes, sir, exactly, you're right, sir. Only when we know the syllabus, we can frame the course of study.
Yes. What do you mean by syllabus? Syllabus means it's a descriptive list of subjects to be covered and a summary of the content. So broadly it says what are the things that must be taught to the students so that the learning objectives that are designed for their age group is met. So that is the broad description of syllabus. So unlike curriculum is set by government agency, by the educational department as to the requirement of education needed from the required age group. So the syllabus is set, curriculum is set according to the age group. But unlike that, the syllabus is set by us teachers in order to meet those learning objectives. So since the syllabus is designed by teachers, we can be very flexible. We can create the syllabus to be all inclusive. So the syllabus has schedules, assignments, projects, important dates. So the syllabus is a broad description of the stepwise instruction that is given to students so that the topics are arranged in a linear fashion and how the understanding level of the students can be improved stepwise. What are the topics that are to be taught in the beginning so that they form a base for the upcoming topics in the future? All that comes under syllabus. So it's created by teachers, and the most important thing is it is available to students before the assessment. So normally we word it like you note down the portions for the term 1 exam. Note down the portions for the term 2 exam. So all those portions are nothing but the syllabus, which means what is to be covered for the assessment. So it is tailor-made to suit the requirement of the class. So what do we mean by this? It is tailor-made, which means if we have say 10 topics to be covered in the mathematics session, we do not club all the tough topics in for a particular term. We just distribute the topics evenly so that the difficulty level of the topics are spread throughout the academic year. We do not club all the difficult ones together and make it easy for the students to understand. And of course it acts as a guideline for teachers. So when we walk into the class, if we have a syllabus, so across sections, across schools, we can always use the syllabus as a guideline to discuss what was covered in the class, what was covered for the month, and what are the assessment topics across all sections. So that is the syllabus when jotted down acts as an important guideline and even as a boundary for teachers as to what to take and till where we should take. That is the importance of syllabus. Now let us see what is we have been talking about curriculum yesterday. So let's see just a few difference between curriculum and syllabus. So I would say curriculum is the broader idea under which we have the syllabus. So curriculum is the set of courses and coursework which in a very broad sense. So we can say the curriculum of mathematics for primary. So it is a very broader umbrella. So when it comes to syllabus, it is a list of subjects taught in class. So when you say mathematics syllabus, so it is the list of chapters or list of topics that are to be covered for that particular year. And curriculum, we all know, comes from, if it's a CBSE, it comes from a national level. It's a state board school, it comes from a state level. But the syllabus is set by the teacher. As teachers, we decide the books, we decide the syllabus and topics as to how we should take the topics. And then curriculum, the changes in the curriculum cannot be done easily because as we all know, it is decided at the national level. Syllabus, as it is set by us, it is very easy to change. In case we feel one topic is very difficult for the children to handle in this session, of course, we all can discuss and say, okay, let us push it to term 2 so that the children will have a better understanding. And then curriculum is very prescriptive. Prescriptive in the sense, it is like the written law. Isn't it? We cannot change it. That's why we say doctor has given prescription, which means something very, very specific. We cannot change from it. So the government has given us guidelines as to what are the skills the children need to know as curriculum. So it is very prescriptive. We cannot change from that. As teachers, it is our duty to see that we have imparted those skills to the children. And syllabus is of course descriptive, which means we have the freedom to change it. In case a particular topic is given to us, it is left to the teacher to handle it or take it in whichever way she feels comfortable. The teaching methodology that we use to impart the skills in that topic is not followed by any rule. That is left to the teacher, that is left to the type of students we have in class. That is what we mean by the word descriptive, which means it is flexible. It depends on teacher to teacher. And again, curriculum, if you see, it deals with the course content, it deals with a larger objective and methodology. Syllabus, it concerns with the subject covered, what are the assignments what we have given, what are the formative assessments we are giving to the children, what is the gap between two formative assessment, when we should give the summative assessment, what is the records we maintain for all these assessments. All these come under syllabus. And the curriculum, of course, we don't say the curriculum to students, what are all the skills they are expected to learn in that particular year is not explicitly said to the students. And of course, syllabus is explicitly said to the students so that they get a fair idea of what to be prepared for the upcoming assessment. Can you teachers add some more points to what is curriculum and syllabus? Anyone? You all follow the difference between curriculum and syllabus?
Anything we have left out, you can add on. Of course, syllabus is left to the discretion of the teachers and the management, whatever it is.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, curriculum covers a large area of question. Syllabus covers particular area of question.
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes. Yes, sir. Curriculum is a large umbrella compared to the syllabus. It's very good, ma'am. Moving
Ma'am,
on.
can I say something?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Divya, ma'am.
Jayalakshmi, ma'am.
Yeah,
The curriculum, the content of a particular course of study.
Yes, ma'am.
The syllabus summary of the content by learning teacher.
I didn't get you, ma'am. Can you repeat it? Not able to hear.
Syllabus is a summary of the content. Curriculum is the contents of a particular course of study.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. That comes under a very large umbrella. Yes. Yes,
ma'am,
Divya.
can I? Yeah, namaste, ma'am. Ma'am, I think curriculum is something which helps us to understand and to plan the holistic development of a student.
Yes.
And syllabus is something which is more related to academic development of the student.
Yes, exactly, Divya, ma'am. So whatever activities you conduct outside the classroom, everything comes under curriculum. For mathematics, you can have activities even outside the classroom. Take them on a field trip. You can, take them to a grocery store to show them billing. So all those activities comes under curriculum because that covers all the activities we do to enable the children learn the objectives in a broader sense. So all those comes under curriculum, whereas syllabus is more of academic oriented activities. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Anyone else, teachers? Yes, ma'am. So we'll go to the next point. And now, why is that we as teachers, we should have something called as syllabus? Why is it important that we know the syllabus earlier? So all these points are obvious, but then we will give a quick reading. Importance of syllabus helps the teachers to meet deadlines.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
instead of we sharing this, why can't the teachers share with us why is it important to frame a syllabus?
Yes, ma'am.
It would be better because we are all experienced teachers.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, teachers, can you all come up and with some points? May I have listed only a few? Can you all come up with points as to why teachers must
At the
have
beginning
syllabus?
of the year, all the teachers, subject teachers especially, we all sit together and frame the syllabus. Last year this was included, let us not have it this year. Last year we didn't have this, let us include this year. And let us do only up to this for this particular class this year. All these discussions we have it every year, right? Why do we do that? Why do we keep changing with the changing times?
Om Shakti, ma'am. This is Renuka Devi from GB Public School, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
That is why we have been asked to frame this one is, we know the tendency of two students, each and everybody we know it, because we have been carrying over from 1 to 5 the same children, no, ma'am. So that we know the
Yes.
capacity of a children, so that we know this child can do a better than this. So we have been given that, ma'am.
Oh, is it only based on the individual's caliber?
Ma'am, it is according to the future. What will be if they study this kind of portion, it will be helpful for the next standard. Then, so according to the future, we are arranging the syllabus.
Yes, to meet the learning objectives of future levels. Yes,
But of course, it is not individually oriented. Am I right, ma'am? It is based on the overall development of the class.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not saying individually. All students, if they know the basic of addition, for example, they have said properties of addition 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Then only they can able to understand what is the additive identity when it comes to 6th standard. So we are arranging the syllabus according to the, it may be helpful in future. So we are giving importance according to the, in having anything according to future.
Okay. Let me put the question in this way, ma'am. Why do we delete something in the syllabus which was done the previous year, or why do we include something what has not been done the previous year? Sometimes we do that. Not sometimes, I think almost all the year we keep changing a little bit of syllabus that has
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
covered across the classes. Why do we do that?
Ma'am, sometimes a repetition of the same topic occurs, ma'am, so that we may delete the content. So for inclusion of content, it is necessary for the in-depth of the knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, that could be one of the reason. Yes, ma'am. Of course, when we delete something, we feel that it is being that is a repetition. Okay, we do that. But otherwise, there could be some other reasons also for omitting or deleting.
Because we need sometimes we think that we need this much instead of this topic we need more weightage in that topic, so we are changing the topics. We feel that instead of this topic we can give some more importance or some more weightage to that topic by the experiencing how the students feel that like that.
Okay, that could
Uh,
also be the reason. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Maybe
um,
that you feel that you mean to say that that particular topic may not be that much importance when compared to the topic what we are already doing. Is it what, ma'am? Is it
Yes, ma'am.
what?
Instead of that, this topic can be more weightage, means it can be more useful, so that we have neglected that.
Okay, that could also be the reason. Some more, ma'am. Sometimes we do for some other reasons also.
ma'am, can I say that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I feel it's planned according to the need of the hour. So during COVID time, what happened was we actually felt that students should be knowing about like sanitation and all. So during the classes, also teachers were talking about sanitation, and they were giving that time to tell student, and they were giving that time to teach those students about sanitation as well as how they can be safe when they are at home. So I personally feel that we change syllabus according to the need of art. And as the previous ma'am said, it depends on the useful, which one is useful and which one we feel at that point of time is more useful than the other.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly, you're true. Because during the COVID times, I think almost all the schools reduced the portions to 30% or by 30%. Am I right, ma'am? So we weren't able to complete the entire syllabus what we framed initially for that particular academic year. So we were in a need to reduce the portions. And when we reduced, we kept in mind that these topics must be definitely covered. For example, say all the 4 arithmetic operations for class 5. Arithmetic operations forms the basis of mathematics. Without arithmetics, they cannot survive in class 6. So we would have thought and we would have listed the topics based on its importance. Yes, ma'am, you are exactly right. Now, I think hopefully we are all switching over to the offline. This academic year, this 2020-23, 22-23 will definitely be a year of hope. And we all pray and believe that we all will resume regular offline classes. And of course, we have to again frame the syllabus in such a way that it's going to be a bridge of what they have not been taught and what they are going to learn. This is definitely going to be a bridge. We cannot just like that, like hiking the prices for the 2 years, which was not done, and suddenly most of the prices hiked like anything, if I would say petrol. Like that, we cannot just like that increase the portion saying that, yes, of course, the 5th standard child should learn up to this. So it is must that we all have to complete the syllabus, and we cannot rush the syllabus like anything without giving them the basics. That is all. That is also important. So step by step only we can do this also. We cannot just like that include everything into the syllabus, and there is no point in completing the syllabus if children are not able to understand at the end of the session. That is also there. We also keep in mind and we frame it accordingly. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Shobna ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So I've just listed a few reasons So it helps teacher to meet deadlines. So we are all clear as to what are the topics that are to be covered by what date, and which also helps in the uniformity across the school, so that all the children are on par with each other about what they learn, and it makes us ready for the class. As we all know, we have a lesson plan to prepare. So if we are very clear about the syllabus and the learning objectives that are to be taught to the children, we can be more prepared for the class with our lesson plan and resources. Understand, it will help us to understand assignments better. What are the types of assignments that need to be given to the children? What are the formative assessment? What are the summative assessment? What are the math lab activities that are to be given to the children? Everything is based on the topics or the syllabus that are discussed on that particular term. So it helps us to design all those activities, and we also know how students would be graded, and of course it helps us to manage time. In case we are not clear about the syllabus, sometimes rarely we find we take some new topic in the class, and then after completing we come to know that that topic is not included for the exam, and then we feel, and some other topic is to be covered, then we have to rush through that because we have wasted a few sessions in this topic which is not there for the exam. I think all those confusion can be avoided, and it helps us to manage time if, as teachers, we have decided the syllabus very clearly ahead. So, and then it helps us to stay organized and connect with peers and students. Of course, when we are taking a topic, we always come back and connect with our peers and then have a talk as to what was the methodology they used to describe this topic. How did the children feel when they did this activity? So all those interactions will also enrich us more, because any positive points from one teacher, we can carry it to our class. So all these are the points for which we say the discussion of the syllabus and the clarity of what syllabus means is very, very important to teachers. So now we, as mathematics teachers, we come to discussing the syllabus for primary mathematics. So mathematics is a special subject, we can say, because it needs children to think and reason. So as Charu ma'am said yesterday, it's quite bit different from other subjects, because it cannot be taught orally like other subjects. It has to have a lot of activities. We have to, each and every session has to be demonstrated on the board or through activities. So mathematics is a subject that is special in that way. So it enables, we have to enable children to think and reason in a certain way. And what do we use as a pretext for imparting the syllabus to the child? What acts as a bridge between the teacher and the child in imparting the syllabus is, of course, the mathematics textbooks. So for a child, the mathematics textbook is all what she is going to use to learn the syllabus. It is the textbook which is the Bible for the child, to give her the learning objectives that helps her to achieve the learning objectives of the curriculum. So the maths textbook is a very, very important tool on which we should decide when we present it to the child. And it is the job of the teacher to take the activities in the textbook so that the child feels it's very easy to get all those learning objectives. So what is the qualities that a maths textbook must have? So we should, as teachers, when we decide on a textbook for our children, we should always be very careful, because that acts as the basis on which we decide the activities on an everyday basis, and that is the textbook to which the child looks into every day. So the maths textbook must consolidate concepts. It must be very clear and precise with the concepts which it is trying to explain to the child. Second, it must have footnotes. It must have questions, different types of questions on higher order thinking skills, arts. It must have questions on art integrated activities. It must have questions on value-based questions. So it must not be a book filled just with numbers. It must be a book which helps children to grow in all directions. It must be a book which helps children who have different abilities to grow. Some children are very good in art. Some children are very good in math lab activities. Some children are very good in doing sums mentally. Some children are very good in visualizing the problems. So it must, the textbook must give scope for all children, for children of different capabilities to understand the syllabus and grow. And the textbook must develop the culture of learning outside the classroom. What do you mean learning outside the classroom? For example, if we are teaching them money or billing, so it must show an activity where it says the children can go to a shop, observe a grocery bill, and then see how rupees and pies are tallied there, how much the parents have paid, and what is the balance they have given. Supposing it discusses about, say, large numbers, or for example, 4-digit numbers. So it should say where the children can spot 4-digit numbers. Of course, on all automobiles, behind the number plates, they can see 4-digit numbers. So it can say, spot 10 vehicles in your neighborhood and write the numbers. So the children will be aware of where 4-digit numbers are being used on an everyday basis. And it is not something that they learn just in class, 3-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers, 5-digit numbers. What is the use of learning such higher numbers? Where can they practically see them in life? So they can give a question like note down 10 4-digit numbers from your neighborhood vehicles and then write it down. They can even convert it into a value-based question and ask, why do you think vehicles run on petrol? Why can't they use alternative energy? So these are all small value-based questions which the textbook can have, so that it rekindles the imagination, rekindles the critical thinking and reasoning of the child. So all those type of questions are very important when we decide on a textbook. And it must help the child to learn mathematics and to see mathematics even outside the classroom. It's not something that is confined only to a maths book and maths notebook and inside the class, which is to be learned only for scoring marks in the exam. So I think if you open the child of a mind that way, and if she can see mathematics all around her, that will give her a holistic development. And the next point, the mathematics book must touch upon more than one stream. So what do we say more than one stream? We say, if even in the word problems, we say Ram has planted 8 banana trees. He planted another 9 trees here. Count the number of trees. So when we just touch upon more than one stream, we could ask them, do you think planting of trees is a good thing to do? See, it is not concerned with mathematics, but when you touch upon more than one stream, then it shows how holistic development of the child is done. She doesn't see the problem only as an addition, as a problem where addition is to be done or subtraction is to be done, but also understands the importance of the activity. Next, the textbook should develop the syllabus in 5 very natural streams flowing from class 1 to 5. So the textbook must always be a seamless bridge through concepts and activities as the child continues from class 1 to class 5. It must always give a recap of what the child has learned in class 1 and check what the child knows before it can move to activities which are to be learned in class 2 or again from 2 to 3. So it cannot jump suddenly from one level to another level. Rather, it must be a very seamless transition from one class to another class so that the child is very comfortable in understanding the topic. Next, the textbook must include activities as part of the main course and not as a supplement. So we all see in some textbook that activities are pushed to the back, which neither the teacher sees nor the child even gives a reading. So the activities and learning by doing is very important when it comes to mathematics, and it must always be included as a part of the main course of the textbook and not as a supplement where teachers and students consider it is optional to do all those activities because they are very, very important. And then maths textbooks must give importance to children's current local interests and enthusiasms. For example, they should always give examples relating to the local culture or something pertaining to our country. For example, if we say 3, what do you get when you add 3 snowman plus 2 snowman, or something which is very foreign to our culture, something which our children have not seen, then they are very alien to those concepts. So it must always have examples, always must have activities that a child is following in her culture. So these are the broad things a mathematics textbook must have. And then they must use the language which the child would normally use and would understand. So especially when we use word problems, the names used there can be very small and understandable for the child. The words that are being used in the word problems, the examples that are being given there need not have very big words so that the child cannot understand on her own. Rather, it must be made for the audience. Who are the audience? They are the children who are in class 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the books must use the language that the children can understand, and they can read the book without the help of the teacher or an adult. And then make the children aware that can be several strategies for reaching a problem. This is very important in mathematics, because in mathematics, you can arrive at an answer in many different ways. So a mathematics book must give example on the different ways through which a solution to a problem can be achieved, so that the child is very thorough in her concept. And it must always be deductive. Mathematics books must always be deductive in the sense we cannot put definitions and explanations on the child. We can never put definitions and explanations on the child. Rather, it must be very deriving way. The child must find all those definitions and explanations on her own, so that internalizing is much better. So these are all the broad qualities which a maths textbook must have, so that the syllabus which we are speaking about is imparted thoroughly to the child. So on the whole, the maths book must have questions based on higher order thinking skills. It must increase their thinking skills and critical thinking skills, analytical skills. It must have experiential activities. It must always work towards the expected learning outcome which the curriculum demands a teacher to do. It must have value-based questions so that the child grows up into not only an intelligent person, but also a responsible and a socially responsible adult. So that is very, very important, value-based questions. They also must have fun activities, because maths must not be a very dry subject with only numbers and operations on the board. It must have a lot of fun activities, and it must also have arts integrated activities, so that children who are talented in all domains can understand and follow mathematics. So with this, we will come to the discussion of syllabus of class 1.
Ma'am, just a minute.
Yes,
Apart from these, go back to the previous slide, ma'am. Apart from this, you can also include social skills, culinary skills, and other skills that would develop the child holistically. In fact, we are happy to share that we have included all these expected criteria in our in-house publications, which is going to be adapted from the coming academic year, that is 2022-23. Teachers of DAV group of schools, along with the guidance of our dean, we have prepared the in-house publications, and this year we are giving away with classes 1, 2, and 3 mathematics books. Feel free to reach us. We are happy to share the books with you all. And of course, we have included all these criteria which we have listed out here. And apart from that, also some more interesting facts are also included along with the questions. Then in case, suppose if you're talking about the rivers, the length of the rivers, for example, for class 3, we have 4-digit numbers and we talk about the length of the rivers. We list 4 rivers and ask them to arrange either in the descending order or in the ascending order per se. So when we talk about those rivers, we also give small facts about those rivers, which make them understand the importance of rivers. And of course, it is also a GK part of it. They need not study about all these separately in GK books. As and when they learn about these topics, we have included as much as possible some facts which would definitely help the child at that particular level. Apart from that, of course, there are children who come with lot of queries, and it is the need of the teacher and the requirement of the teacher to equip the children with those facts which the children would like to benefit out of it. So please keep that also in mind. Please feel free to contact us for any queries about the publications which we are launching this year. And
any suggestions are also welcome, so that we
Yes.
will include it in the next publication.
yes, of course, after going through our publications, your suggestions are most welcome, and we would like a lot of critics over it, because only critics makes us improvise. Always we take the critics in a positive sense, and which always gives scope for improvement. That's how we take it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Shobna, ma'am. Apart from what we have listed out, do you feel any other skills would be beneficial for children at this particular level? Because we say primary math is a basic, is of base for the future classes, that is from 6th onwards. This forms the basis. Any other topics we need to touch upon apart from what I have listed and what I have shared with you now? Teachers, feel free to list out also that. Of course, here we have not mentioned about the facts, culinary skills, social skills and all, but we have included that as much as possible. And of course, worksheets are also there. Actually, it is not put as worksheets. We have written it as thread the children with the word worksheets. Instead of that, we have done it as let's practice. And as Shobna ma'am said, all these art integrated activities, fun activities, experiential activities is not towards the end of the chapter. It is all imbibed wherever it is possible for us in between the topic itself, in between the topics.
Shall we move class?
Yeah. Yes, teachers, you have any more suggestions apart from what we have listed? Feel free. Okay.
Our class 1.
Yes. Shall I make it
No,
up?
ma'am, it has almost.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. May I know that? May I know who is speaking? We are not able to hear you, ma'am. Okay. So let me continue. For class 1, This is, I have listed the topics based on our in-house publications. Yes, ma'am, she has mentioned life skill oriented activities. That includes experiential learning activities, ma'am. That is being in life skill is nothing but experiential, and of course it is a combination of both arts integrated and experiential. We have included that also, ma'am. Here and there we have included life skills also. And coming to the class 1 contents, in fact, first we have started with comparing skills. Always we believe on teaching the children from known to unknown. So when class 1 children are coming to the school for the first time, of course, this set of class 1, I think we believe that they are stepping into the school for the first time. They are going to step into the school for the first time. So we have started with comparing skills. It might look very easy for us as adults, but according to the CBSE, there are certain pedagogies that has to be completed before stepping into the basic arithmetic. So that is what is the CBSE insists on also. So when we look at that basic pedagogies, we need to equip the children to identify how to differentiate between big and small, tall and short, long and short, more, less, thick, thin, heavy, light, full, empty, inside, outside, before, after, between, same as or equal to. So when we talk about this tall and short, long and short, big and small, actually by the end of that, our learning outcome, what we would expect is they will identify that these are the terms. When we talk about tall and short, these are the terms that are used to refer to heights. Of course, when we talk about heavy and light, they would understand that these are the topics that would refer to weight. So these small things, of course, by only pictorially we are representing, nothing using numbers or anything else. It is only pictorial representation. So all these before, after, between, same as or equal to, inside, outside, full, empty, everything is only pictorially represented. This is to make the children feel free and comfortable, because that is going to be the first topic for them. So initially, when we start with the numbers that has been done in our previous years, they are not much attracted to those topics. Whereas small children are always fancy about looking at pictures. They like to look at the pictures, they like to draw, they like to color. So here and there we have introduced certain coloring activities and identifying activities and drawing activities. Of course, all those has been included side by side. For example, if I take long and short, suppose if I take long and short, for example, I say that I might give an object and ask them to draw an object longer than the given one. So their thinking skills are equipped. Of course, more and less, they are able to identify which is more and which is less, only by observation, not by counting, only by observation. Thick, thin. Again, here it is very important for them to learn these two terms, because many times we see children writing very dark and some children writing very light. So this thick, thin, of course, it creates a lot of impact on their writing habits. So first topic is only about comparison. All these topics are specified by CBSE to be completed for a class 1 child. So all these topics are prescribed by CBSE. Next comes numbers up to 20. If you look at our syllabus, just scroll it up, ma'am. Shobna, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. On the third chapter, ma'am?
No. So if you look at this chapter 2, count me in. When you look at the topics names also, It is comparing skills. Here I have given let's compare. It is numbers up to 20. Count me in. So here they are going to just learn how to count. When they are counting, it is nothing. Ma'am, go back to the previous one. Go back to the previous one. So they are going to learn how to count from 1 to 20. From 1 to 20. Here we are not, though children know up to 100, we are not giving them in the beginning itself up to 100. So we are splitting the numbers as numbers up to 20 and then go back to numbers from 1 to 100. Why is this? Because children feel comfortable when they deal with a set of numbers. For example, here we have restricted it to 20. Here they build the numbers up to 20. When they say build the numbers, they count the numbers. They build on each and every number. Then how to write numbers and number names. Expanded form and short form. Of course, we have done away with the word short form and we are using only standard form. Before, after and between numbers. Comparing numbers and ordering of numbers. Here we use only the words increasing and decreasing and not ascending and descending. Ascending and descending are the words which we introduce only in class 3. Here in class 1 and class 2 we use the words only increasing and decreasing. And of course we have also introduced ordinal numbers. Here all these subtopics, number names, expanded form, short, standard form, or before, after, between, everything will be done only up to 20, not more than 20. Next comes put me together. Here again, instead of simply saying addition, we have done away with the word addition. We have done with the word put me together. So by the name put me together itself, they'll understand when certain numbers are put together or certain objects are put together. When we put things together, we are actually adding. So addition of small numbers, here again we restrict only up to 20, because when we are dealing with small numbers, they become comfortable in doing addition and subtraction. Whereas in later case, they'll be easy to do even up to numbers up to 100 also. Up to 100 also. Here in addition, we do first by counting the objects. Addition by counting the objects. That is always from known to unknown, from concrete. So concrete objects will be given. They'll count the objects and they will add. Then addition on the number line. It can also be an additional addition on the number strip also. Here we have done addition on the number line. Addition on the number line and number strip can also be included. Then addition using abacus. Of course, all the schools will definitely have the instrument abacus with them to teach children how to identify the places, their values, and also do addition and subtraction. Abacus is an instrument which teaches the children in the formative years to do counting, addition, subtraction, and place and place values. Here we have also included addition of 0 and 1, vertical and column method, vertical or column method. Of course, it is horizontal and vertical division. Addition. In fact, we are not specifying exactly as horizontal and vertical addition. Instead of that, it is only the arrangement which is done vertically and horizontally. Then order of addition. When they add 2 numbers and more than 2 numbers, the sum remains the same. That is also included at this stage itself for them to understand that they can add the numbers in any order. And of course, this number combinations, which is very rare in most of the maths books, has been included in class 1. Because at this level, if we include this number combinations, it is easy for children when they come to the higher classes, without even putting out their fingers, they are able to give the answers quickly. Whereas here number combinations, I mean number combinations of 10. Number combinations of only 10, not more than that. Only 10. Then adding 3 numbers. And of course, it is mentioned here as word problems, but we are doing away with the word problems and we are renaming it as solving real life situations or applications in real life. Of course, it is named as applications in real life. Then take me out. Of course, by the phrase take me out itself, they'll be able to understand that something which is taken out means subtraction. And of course, as usual, we start subtraction by crossing out the objects, and subtraction using the number line and number strip. Again, arranging vertically and horizontally. And here we don't include borrowing. Of course, in addition also, we don't do carryover because in class 1, we don't follow that. Yes, ma'am. Next slide. I'll finish off all the class 1 topics. If you have anything else to share with me apart from this topics, or if you're following some other syllabus apart from or contents apart from this topics, please feel free to share with me. Of course, the 5th chapter is shapes. Children love to do this chapter because they love creating shapes and learning about shapes, because shapes make their living room, their kitchen, their classrooms, and wherever they are filled with shapes. Here we touch upon only the plane shapes. Square, rectangle, triangle, circle, oval, and diamond are the other shapes that are included for them. Of course, because oval, they come across that in many situations. And then comes the tracing of the lines. They trace the lines and understand whether it is curved or straight. And then about patterns, here we restrict only with shapes, objects, and letters. And of course, patterns made in real life using shapes. Patterns made in real life using shapes. Here, children are introduced how patterns are formed. Patterns are nothing but any shape or object or number or whatever it is, if it is repeated in a particular sequence, it becomes a pattern. Because children are come across these patterns in various occasions, especially when they wear a dress. They look, when we tell them that patterns make the dresses beautiful, patterns are actually done to make things attractive, to make it look more beautiful than what they are. So they like that, and they explore more about it. Then coming up to bundle up, here we come back again, numbers up to 100. Already we have done up to 20. So here we teach them numbers after 20. Then same way, here again they count numbers. Here it can be building blocks, or it can be building pencils, or it can be anything that bundles up into 10. Here we have given just an example of bundling 10 pencils together. A bundle of 10 makes 110. Number names, expanded form and standard form. Again, same topics that was covered in chapter 2. Before, after, between, ring the smallest and the greatest. This is to make them identify the greatest number and the smallest number amongst the given numbers. Then, of course, ordering of numbers, which is nothing but increasing and decreasing order. Again, same topic, addition. You might all think why this addition topic is repeated twice. There we deal with only numbers up to 20. Here we deal with numbers up to 100. When they are comfortable with numbers up to 20, this is going to be a cakewalk for them. This addition chapter of numbers up to 100 is going to be a cakewalk for them, because they are not going to do sums with carryover. And this topic will definitely be interesting for them, because they'll come up with, ma'am, we already know how to do this, and they'll be able to do that with ease. Of course, here we have done away with word problems and we have restated it as applications in real life. Then again, subtraction of numbers up to 100. This is what is takeoff. There we have worded it as takeaway. Here we have worded it as takeoff. Of course, the same topics which was dealt in the chapter number 4, we have done it with chapter number 8. Then count on it. Of course, the children need to know what is the usage of money in real life. How should they value the coins and notes? how to count money and what are the notes and coins that is available in our day-to-day life. And of course, what are the notes and coins that were available in our Esther years. Yes, ma'am. Next one. Then, as children of class 1, they should know how to read the time. They should know the parts of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. And they should be able to read the time at least with full hours. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. It is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, like that. And they must be able to write the time only with, at least with full hours. And drawing the hands of the clock, days of the week, months of the year, and of course, they must be able to read the calendar. Though we can argue saying that nowadays clocks are replaced by digital clocks, watches are replaced by digital watches. Yes, of course. But certain things are mandatory for a child to read and write. Then comes the 11th topic, measure up. Here, if you look at it, I have given comparing length, mass, and capacity, no units. We are not introducing any metric units in class 1. It is very difficult for a class 1 child to understand the metric units. So we have not done the metric units at all. In fact, we have introduced certain non-standard units like cubit, foot, palm. All those terms are introduced in class 1, whereas they understand that length, mass, and capacity can also be measured using non-standard units. And there we stress upon that why non-standard units are not specified for any particular purpose is they are not common. They are not standard in the sense, that is why it is called non-standard. Of course, it is not common for everybody. It differs from person to person and differs from object to object and differs from place to place. And next one is count me if you can. This is of course a handling data topic, which is to arrange the data using the pictograph. Here we have done only with interpretation of pictograph, not drawing the pictograph, only interpretation. They have to understand the pictograph and find answers for that pictograph. That's all. Next, last one. This is the topic which we have introduced this year particularly. Skip in times, just to an introduction to multiplication tables. Of course, we have not done the multiplication tables, only by skip counting in 2s, 5s, and 10s to make them understand that repeated addition is nothing but multiplication. So these are the topics that we have included for class 1. And of course, our in-house publication books are done in such a way that children work out most of the problems only in the reader. Even the activities, fun activities, experiential learning activities, AL activities, value-based questions, everything is done only in the reader. And we have done it in such a way that teachers will correct the reader and give the feedback to the children then and there. And the notebooks are reduced to a large extent. Notebooks are reduced to a large extent, and children also feel very happy to work it in the reader because they are very fancied about the pictures and the numbers and the colorful presentation of the book. So this is what is our class 1 topics. Apart from these topics, if you are doing with some other topics, or if you feel that these topics could be little higher for class 1 also, you can definitely reach out to us. Yes, teachers. Now the floor is yours. You could share what are the topics you're doing for your school, class 1, class 2, whatever it is.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Manjula from Sheshas.
Yes.
So in class 1, we are following Astrogen publications from class 1 to 3. So in class 1, we...
Sorry, what is the publication?
Astrogen, ma'am.
Astrogen. Right.
Astrogen publications. In class 1, we are included cardinal and ordinal numbers, as well as multiplication and division of introduction. In multiplication, we just brush up the concepts about the equal groups, like two groups of 4 apples, like that. In division also, we are using only the picturized concepts. So it will easy for them to study the next level grade.
Actually, with lot of hesitation, we have given the 13th chapter introduction to multiplication. Ma'am. Division is too high for class 1. Division is too high for class 1.
So that only we insisted them to picturized concepts only, not for the tables.
Because in class 1 and 2 only, they learn addition and subtraction of numbers up to 100, and in class 2 up to 999, up to that is 3-digit number. Here we restrict only up to 2-digit numbers. There we teach them up to 3-digit numbers. So too many new concepts at the same time may not help the child to understand that particular topic effectively. That was our basic idea. That's all. Actually, this also wasn't in our bucket list, but since many teachers requested, this actually is only 5 pages. If I would say it is only 5 pages. This last topic is only 5 pages. They'll count only 2s, 5s and 10s, that too pictorially or using the number line. And then they will arrive at the addition fact and the multiplication fact. That's all. All the other topics remain the same, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all
feedback on how the children are comfortable learning division in class 1, ma'am? Can we have feedback?
Can you just discuss how much the children are able to
grasp and understand the concept of division, ma'am? Are they able
They
to
are very
understand?
interested to do the lab activity, ma'am. So we have provided the paper plates and tokens. They are very interested to divide the coins into the groups.
Okay. Okay. Of course, patterns, I don't know how many of you will follow. How many of the schools follow patterns?
So even you introduce the word division in class 1, ma'am? That
Manjula, ma'am, do you introduce the word division to your children?
Not a division, ma'am. We just use the picturized concepts and the activities.
No, how do you reword it? Or
Repeated subtraction and repeated addition for multiplication.
how many of you follow patterns in your schools? Because pattern is one of the topic which is
Yes, ma'am.
given due
Yes,
importance by the CBSE till class 10.
Yes, ma'am. We are following the patterns also in shapes.
So any other ideas? Teachers? Okay. Shall we move to class 2, ma'am? Yes. So in class 2, again, I'll just do a quick brush up. In class 2, we don't start with comparing skills because already we have done that with class 1. That is only for them to get into the level 1 because they are from the nursery level. So just because they are coming from the nursery level, there we started with comparing skills in class 1. But here we straight away go with the concepts. First one will be numbers up to 100. Of course, here, this is the warm-up, what they are going to do, which they have already learned in class 1. This is the warm-up for them. Then the next one is numbers up to 1000. Here they learn 3-digit numbers, odd numbers, and also even numbers. Then followed by addition. Of course, here they do carryover also. Addition of 1, 10, and 100 more than, and regrouping of 3-digit addition. Then comes subtraction. Here in addition and subtraction, we teach them the properties of subtraction and difference, 1 less than, 2, 10 less than, and 100 less than. And here subtraction without regrouping and with regrouping, and a relation between addition and subtraction, applications of subtractions in real life. Of course, the 5th chapter for all the classes seems to be lines and shapes. or geometry part of it. There it was shapes and patterns. Here it is lines and shapes. Here we deal with plane shapes as well as solid shapes and properties of solid shapes and shapes that can slide, roll, and both, and of course patterns. In multiplication, of course, we bring back the same topic. Repeated addition is nothing but multiplication. Properties of multiplication, counting in 2s, 5s, and 10s, multiplication using the number line, and application of multiplication in real life. And here we deal with only 2 by 1 and 3 by 1. Yes, ma'am. Next. Seventh chapter is about more multiplication. As I said earlier, there in the introduction to multiplication, we teach them only how to represent multiplication facts and addition facts and represent the sum using number line and number strip. Here, counting in 3s, counting in 4s. So they build on the multiplication tables. And order property of multiplication is very important here. And multiplying 2-digit numbers and 3-digit numbers by 1-digit number. Of course, multiplication with tens and hundreds also. Then comes the time chapter. Reading that there in class 1, if you look at the mathematics topic, it is all overlapped. That is how we do it. Maths topics are always overlapped from one class to the another. So there it was a time chapter in class 1. They did only full hours. Here up to half an hour also they do. And reading the time to quarter hour, days of the week, months of the year, and special days in the year. Then comes money. How do they use money in real life? How do they write rupees and paise using the symbol of rupee, counting money, addition and subtraction of money also. And also how to read the bill, they learn in class 2. Now coming to the measurement topic, here measurement of length, measurement of weight, and measurement of capacity. Here we introduce the metric units, not all the metric units, only the basic metric units of length, mass, and capacity. And next one is handling data. Handling data, here again, in the previous class, they learned how to interpret the pictograph. Now they will learn how to draw the pictograph and how to make a list of things that are given to draw a pictograph. Here only we introduce the concept of division, dividing equally in real life, dividing objects into equal groups. Here again, the concept of division will be only a few pages, wherein they will learn that repeated subtraction is nothing but division.
Towards the end of class 2,
Yes.
they are given introduction to division. So these are class 2 portions.
Again, I would like to tell you here in the concept of division, they will not divide any number like find 45 divided by 5 or 12 divided by 3, find the quotient, dividend, divisor. Nothing of that sort will be done in class 2. Only by using the objects, how to divide the objects into equal groups and find out these many groups, how many groups are found and how many in each group. Only that concept will be tested in concept of division. Yes, ma'am.
Teachers, any feedback? Class 2 portions, anything you add or you delete from these, you can really express here. Your schools, how do you, what is this?
We'll move to class 3. In class 3, we have we are starting with 4-digit numbers, because in class 3 they learn 3-digit numbers. One step ahead, we start with 4-digit numbers. In 4-digit numbers, we start with place, place value, face value, expanded and standard form, successor and predecessor. Of course, here we don't use the word before, after, between. We move on to the terms successor and predecessor, skip counting, comparison. Here we again use the words ascending and descending instead of increasing and decreasing. forming the greatest and the smallest 4-digit numbers. That nothing but building the greatest and the smallest using the given digits, odd and even numbers. And of course, we have doing with little bit of Sudoku. It is nothing but it can either be 9 by 9 or 3 by 3 or 5 by 5. Only like that. Not like the regular Sudoku that we have in our newspapers or the bigger Sudokus. 9 by 9 Sudoku we don't introduce in class 3. This is of course a new try from our side. So this in class 3 we have given first initially with 3 by 3, then with 5 by 5. Then coming up to addition, again all the topics that was dealt in class 2 will be again done here in class 3 with 4-digit numbers. It goes same with subtraction also. Same with 4-digit numbers. We deal with all the properties of subtraction. Subtraction without borrowing and with borrowing. Then applications in real life, and of course combined operations. We hear it means both addition and subtraction together. And of course in multiplication, it is 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 2 by 2, and 3 by 2. And multiplication by 10, 100, and 1000. And if you look at it, we have introduced square numbers here, which you wouldn't have seen in many books. The square numbers, of course, is our new try again. Children will be able to grasp very easily what are square numbers, and which will also be helpful for them when they move to higher classes. It's only up to 10, not more than that. 1 1s, 2 2s, 4 4s like that. Only up to 10 we have done that, not exceeding 10. Then coming up to again 5th chapter is a geometry part of it in all the classes. 5th chapter is shapes and patterns. Earlier we have done in class 2 with plane shapes and solid shapes. Here we are doing with again solid shapes with their faces, number of faces, number of edges, corners or vertices, and of course examples of all these solid shapes and shapes that can roll, slide or both. And here we come to patterns in shapes and numbers and tiling patterns. Few tiling patterns are also introduced in class 3. Division chapter we have did it with we have actually done it in such a way that it is not too much in the same chapter itself. So we divided into 2 short chapters, chapter 6 and chapter 7. In division 1, they'll be again doing equally sharing and grouping with objects. And of course, they will do division by repeated subtraction, division and multiplication facts. For that is to know that each multiplication fact has 2 division facts, properties of division and applications in real life. Then in chapter 7, we deal with the exact division, both by short division and long division method of 2 by 1, 3 by 1, and division by 10, 100, 1000 by shortcut method, and of course by applications in real life. And also we do division, checking the division by the formula of multiplication. This 8th chapter is a new chapter for class 3, which is fractions, which is going to be there for them till their class 10 and 12. Fractions, here we are not going to give them like fractions, unlike fractions, equivalent fractions, nothing of that sort. We are just introducing with fractions as a part of a whole or a collection, only using objects. Then look at the pictures and write the fraction for the shaded and the unshaded parts, or the parts that are taken and parts that are not taken, or parts that are referred to and parts that are not referred to. Introducing the terms numerator and denominator of a fraction, finding the value of the fraction, and applications in real life. Then comes the next interesting topic, which they are learning from class 1, money topic. Here they'll express the money in the words and figures, conversions of rupees into paise and paise into rupees, then addition and subtraction of money, then preparing a bill, and applications in real life. This preparing a bill carries lot of activities, so which will be interesting for them. Of course, here We can also do a lot of activities in experiential learning, like our ma'am suggested. You can take them to a grocery shop or set a grocery shop or set a shop in the classroom itself. Ask children to buy with the dummy notes, make a bill, prepare a bill, then calculate the amount that they have to pay, calculate the amount that they have to get in change. All these can be done inside the classroom or inside the lab itself. Then comes the time chapter. Of course, in the previous classes, they have learned about time. So here, reading the time, writing the time. And if we are introducing the terms AM and PM, where should they use AM and where should they use PM? Then time before and after an hour or half an hour. Then of course, again, calendar. Here in calendar, we are just stepping ahead to leap years. How should they calculate the leap years and all those things? And of course, in the same thing, we use applications in real life. Here we have reworded everything as applications in real life instead of word problems or story sums. Then comes the measurement topic. Here we give them concrete metric units, comparing the size of the objects without actual measurement. This is only comparison. Then we introduce the units of length, weight, and capacity. Conversion of one unit into another without decimals. Without decimals, of course, that will come in the later stage in class 5. Then applications in real life. Then comes the last chapter, handling data. Yes, ma'am. Handling data. Here, they collect the data, they represent the data, they interpret the data all through pictograph. Yes, this is what is for class 3. Any suggestions on class 3? Or shall we move forward to class 4 and class 5? Yes, ma'am. We'll move to class 4. Class 4, I have just listed out what are the subtopics that we deal in each chapter. In chapter 1, these are the subtopics. I did it. Here we go up to 5 and 6 digit numbers. First by drawing the abacus and representing it. Then comes all the terms, place value, face value. Again, the same topics. One more added topic here is Roman numerals, because in class 4, children need to learn what are Roman numerals and where are they used and how is it being used in the question papers, all those things. Until then, till in class 3, we don't use these Roman numerals. And when we are setting the question papers, we do, of course, with class 4 and 5. Yes, ma'am. Next one. So here we have combined the chapter as addition and subtraction, instead of having it as separate topics like class 1, 2, and 3. Here again, properties of addition and subtraction. Addition of 5 and 6 digits, subtraction of both. Here we have done with including money. Everywhere we have written including money because we are not going to separately have a money chapter. Rather, that money chapter is included partially in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and its applications. Yes, ma'am. So again, here also you could see, I think all of you can read this. It's 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1. 2 by 2, 3 by 2, and 3 by 3. Again here, same. Here also money is included. I would like to mention, whenever we are saying money is included in these 4 arithmetic operations, we say that we are dealing only with rupees and not with both rupees and paise. It is only rupees. Yes, ma'am. Next. And in class 4, a new topic, multiples and factors, listing the multiples and common multiples, tests of divisibility, prime and composite numbers. Actually, prime and composite numbers, we are restricting this year, this coming academic year, to only 1 to 20 because the same is being done in class 5. So we thought of restricting prime and composite numbers only up to 20 in class 4. Yes, ma'am. Next. Of course, fractions chapter, which has been taught in class 3. So here they learn fractions of a whole and a collection. They learn how to draw. They learn what is an equivalent fraction, how to simplify fractions, differentiate like and unlike fractions, comparing, ordering, adding, and subtracting only like fractions. So unlike fractions are not at all tested in class 4. That is done only in class 5. Always there should be a gradation in what we teach. So we stick on to that, and we have graded it in such a way that they are able to adapt that particular topic easily. Of course, the types of fractions are introduced in class 4 itself: proper, improper, and mixed. Then here reading the time to exact minute, not like the one which we did it in class 2 and class 3. Here exact minutes, and writing the time in 3 ways. Use of AM and PM, and of course conversion of 12-hour into 24-hour clock time, and vice versa, which is very important for them in day-to-day applications. And then calculating the time duration and finishing time, not the starting time. And here also we are restricting only to hours. Time duration, which is nothing but the time interval, and how to find the finishing time. Yes, ma'am, next. And in measurement topics, we have included all the units, basic units. We are not going to go with all that we have learned in our old age or in our years, like centimeter, decimeter, decameter, hectometer, all that we are not doing. We are doing only with centimeter, meter, kilometer, kilogram, gram, milliliter, and liter. Then in class 4, we deal only with perimeter and not with area. Find what is the definition of perimeter. They arrive at the definition of the perimeter, finding the perimeter of the given shapes, and find the missing length, and find the perimeter of the square and rectangle. Of course, again here not using the formula. We are not going to give them the formula. They derive at the formula after finding the perimeter of the square and the rectangle. And the last one, handling data. So here collecting raw data, representing the raw data in the tally mark, interpreting the bar graph. Here only interpretation, not drawing the bar graph, then drawing the pictograph for the given data. This is for class 4. Coming to class 5, I think all of you know that we are dealing with 7 and 8 digit numbers with Indian system and international system. An extra subtopic would be rounding numbers to the nearest 10, 100, and 1000. Or we can name it as estimate also. Next, coming to the 4 arithmetic operations, addition and subtraction.
Profit and loss. Profit and loss is the new.
Profit and loss is the application oriented topic for addition and subtraction. And in multiplication and division, it would be average and unitary method. Here we have average and unitary method. And of course, the next topic, fourth topic would be factors and multiples. And of course, as I said, we have planned it in such a way, all the 5th topics will be based on geometry. In geometry for class 5, since they need to learn what are the basic geometrical concepts, point, line, line segment, and ray, we have introduced all these things. Measuring and drawing line segments, then angles, different types of angles, and in patterns we have introduced tessellations. Excuse me. Then comes the decimal topic, which is very important for them. We cover all the basic terms, place value chart, writing in words, writing in decimals, both expanded form in fractional and decimal way, conversion of a fraction into a decimal and vice versa, equivalent, like, unlike, decimals, ordering and ordering, addition and subtraction. Again, here we have included money also. Here we can test it with both paise and rupees. Then multiplication and division of decimals by 10, 100,000, and division of decimals by 10, 100,000, and multiplication, division by only a whole number, not decimal by decimal. Yes, ma'am. Then coming to the time chapter, it is almost the same like what they did in class 4, except of that calculating time duration, finishing time, and starting time, not only with us, also with minutes and hours. Yes, ma'am. Next. Measurement topic. We have again conversion of bigger unit to the lower unit and lower unit to the higher unit. We are doing here all the 4 operations with these units, and then solving real life problems. Next. Here We are doing both area and perimeter using the formula and without using the formula by observing the shapes of the objects and shapes of the figures. Next one is the last one, which is the handling data, collecting the raw data, representing the data in the tally mark, interpreting the bar graph. And all these are only interpretations: bar graph, circle graph, and line graph. In circle graph, we are having only half, quarter, and 3/4. And this interpretation of line graph is also there for them. Only interpretation. They are not going to draw the line graph at all. I think I have covered all the syllabus of classes 1 to 5. Thank you, teachers. Hope this session was very interesting for all of you.